Hello, Engineer Mohamed Haddad with you today from Ayun Company. Today we are going to see how to generate a drive and stops report. This report should help you to identify each trip, what time started, what time it was ended, and for every stop point and parking, how long he stopped and how long he idled during his stop time. Like, for example, if he stopped for 1 hour, how long out of this 1 hour he was um, keeping the engine is on. So let's see. First of all, you need to head to the reports button in the top menu. After that, the reports window will open for you. Then you need to make a new report. You'll have the report properties. You can name it any name. Let's say, for example, whatever drives and stops. Then you need to select from the type the report type, which is drives and stops. After that, you need to select the object. I'll select this vehicle. After that, um, we will go through the other option. Those ones, the data items that will be shown in the report. So you can hide or show the data. For example, if you don't want to see the driver and the trailer, for example, or the average speed, you can just uncheck those boxes and you will not be able to see them in the report. Here, we can, for example, use the zones and markers instead of the addresses to show them in the report. Um, Also, for the stops, the system allows you to identify the minimum stop duration to count that stop as stop. So for example, if he stopped at a shop or a traffic light for less than 5 minutes, it won't be counted as a stop for parking point. The system will skip it. The system will count it as stop point if he exceeds the 5 minutes, and so on. You can just increase this period or decrease it. So now we will generate for the previous week, for the last week, and now let's generate and see how this report looks like. Report is downloaded. So now I have, this is the report, this is the object, and this is the period. So as you can see, at the beginning of the period I have choose, the vehicle was stopped. It was stopped from this time, and this time, by the way, is as per the start time of the period I chose. So it counts from the start time of the period I selected in here in this details, because when I select last week, the system automatically keep the time 00. So let's get back to the report. So it was stopped from this time to this time. The duration was 9 hours. The location was here. And the idle time was 13 seconds. You can see then we have moving. The vehicle was moving from what time to what time, how long it was moving, how many kilometers the vehicle drove or the driver drove, the top speed the vehicle reached, and the average speed. As you can see here, we have the fuel consumption. For the majority of the users, they don't have the fuel level sensor, but we will see together how you can add the virtual fuel calculation feature to the system and how you can present it in the report. And here it converts the fuel consumption into a manual, and so on. Stop moving, and so on. You can just keep an eye on the last column because this is the most important thing in this report. Uh, so, for example, you need to point the excessive period or the excessive idling time, so you can investigate with the driver, like why he stopped. So, for example, here we don't have any excessive, but for example, let's assume that we have here 30 minutes. So you need, for example, if this is excessive for you as per your standards, so you can speak with him like why you stopped at this location at this time and you kept the engine on for this long. and so on. And at the end, you can see a summarized details uh, of the table here. Like for example, the move duration, the total, the stop duration, total stop duration, route length, how many kilometers being driven, top speed, fuel consumption, and so on. Okay, this is for the drives and stops and for the idling time. Now let's see how you can add the fuel consumption. Just in quickly, yani, we will just go through that. For the uh, uh, specific vehicle that you want to generate the report for, you need to go to edit. After you go to edit, you need to head to the submenu, which is the fuel consumption. After that, you need to keep the rate, you need to specify the rate of the fuel. So for example, I'll just give it any random number. Here, the most important thing, you need to mention here the rate of your fuel consumption, kilometer per liters. How many kilometer each liter drive. So for example, for the Sunny, it's around 10. You can get this data from the dealer or from your existing data and your previous data you have, like the full tank, how many kilometer drove, and you can convert that to kilometer per liter value. So now let's save. Again, let's head back to the report. Let's make the report again, drives and stops, and let's select the vehicle. Uh, let's hide this unnecessary data, and let's generate for the previous week. Now, if you can notice that I can see the amount of fuel I consumed in terms of liter and in terms of Oman area. So yeah, thank you for watching.